Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbot333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as the German Empire. Now, last video, the SPD has come into power. We're actually going to learn a little bit about them right now. Founded in 1863, the SPD is one of the oldest socialist parties in the world and the primary ideologue of social democracy in Europe. The party seeks to create a welfare state, reform the constitution, protect democratic reforms. Commanding intense loyalty from its voters, the SPD has remained one of the most stable parties in the Reichstag, despite a history of government repression and unfavorable electoral rules. And, well, here we are now, ruling shit. Yeah. Foundation of the Belgrade Pact. Alright. On the initiative of Serbia, representatives of several countries have convened in Belgrade to discuss the political and military situation of the Balkans. In these 14-day-long events, Serbs, Romanians, and Greeks plot to create a so-called new order in the Balkans, even going as far as to create a 14-point resolution which declares that only the self-determination of people, according to their ethnic allegiances, may be considered a just path to sovereignty and territorial claims. Clearly, the Balkans are restless once again, and the resolution of the Belgrade Congress will surely be used to justify a common war against Bulgaria and ultimately the Austrian Empire. The Austrians have called for an international arms embargo on the Balkan states to support Bulgaria. Shall we announce our support for Bulgarians as well? Only Bulgaria will keep the Balkans stable. We can negotiate with more lenders, reduce our debt a little more. I think that will be lovely. Let's negotiate with Australasia. Although Australasia does not trade much with Germans directly by virtue of its location on the other side of the globe, it does with our various colonial holdings in East Asia. Even relations between our two nations are chilly. There are a lot of wealthy investors that fled there after the fall of the British Empire. It would be unwise for us to overlook them. As a result, telegrams should be sent to Canberra to settle any existing debts. Huey Long, I do declare, a monarchist in Georgia. We have Georgia in our faction, right? We do. Look at that. Look at that indeed. Oops, Spanish Civil War as well. Well, let's get some more factories building. Actually doing pretty okay construction-wise, which I'm pleasantly surprised to see. Are we able to send volunteers off the bat? Send volunteers. We can. We're limited to 4, it would seem. Do we want to send over our tanks? I kind of think we do. Let's send Herr von Kluge. Also send some air volunteers as well. We've been approached by an officer from the Venezuelan military looking to buy a modest amount of artillery pieces to refit their troops. Would obviously be, we'll have to say goodbye to part of our arms stockpile, but you have a lucrative contract that would stimulate our arms industry. Sounds like a good deal. Let's do it. Oop, we got another unit. Let's put that guy there. Research slot. We got a couple of research slots open even. Let's work on industry a little ahead of time, but only marginally. And then I believe we'd want to get working on new tanks, but I want to wait until 38 for the mediums, because I believe we'll get some free divisions of medium tanks if we wait until then. So I will wait for now. Let's actually do excavation while we're here. Unlike our opponents on the right, we rely on parliamentary support to keep our government going, and the heterogeneous nature of our coalition means that conflict between our parties inevitably flares up every once in a while. As long as these fires get contained, these disagreements over the direction can be acceptable, but we should still endure that nobody splits off and sings the cabinet. This time, it's the left wing of the SPD, which has gone into conflict with the rest of the coalition. Active in civic society, distrusting the monarchist system in support of the working class, of working with the far left. They are hard to bear for the more conservative members of coalition, but have thus been challenged. The conflict briefly flared up in the press before settling down. Calm down, then. I'm okay with them being a little upset. Zentrum, I'm a little worried about. But yeah. In an effort to better prepare their southern border against a signalist threat, the government of Flanders Wallonia have requested us to loosen some of the military restrictions imposed on them, such as allowing them to better guard the Lundorf line. Yeah, this could free up some valuable German manpower. Nothing like using the Belgians as a buffer. Nothing quite like it. When are our volunteers going to arrive? Inflation weaponry, liberal victory in Brazil. Interesting. Ostpolitik. Are we not getting the card? Do we only get a limited amount of cards? That might be what's up. Well, that's unfortunate. Supposed to be paper mark inflation, right? What would be good to get going right now? Let's do a state monopoly on nitrate and tobacco. The economist Karl Kaiserreich has proposed establishing state monopolies on two lucrative consumer industries, nitrate mining and tobacco, which bring much needed revenue to the budget. This proposal has been also found support among the left and the far right. Capital control. Well, that gets us over. What do you want to push against? Let's head over here. Maybe not there. We'll focus more on the north, I think. Why not? Paraguay falls to cynicalism again. Not again. What is going on in Paraguay, man? They can't not be goofy. Yeah, we'll push. Failed revolt in Ukraine. Hopefully that will be an end of it all. The Italian government fails. Good news from Kiev has reached us. The Ukrainian ambassador by Germany has informed us that our respective ambassador, Johannes von Veldsbach, the critical situation in Ukraine has passed. His initial setbacks, counteroffensive push of Ukrainian socialist rebels out of the country and forced them to flee, ensuring that Skoropadsky's role in Ukraine is essentially unchallenged. While Hetman has never styled himself as pro-German, preferring to be labeled pro-Ukrainian instead, there's no doubt that his victory will be beneficial for German-Ukrainian cooperation. Hopefully, they can expect to reap the rewards of said cooperation as well as remain and assured that our defensive Ostwall plans can continue as before. Good to hear. After the beginning of the economic crisis caused by the Black Monday stock market crash that caused Germany to draw its attention away from foreign affairs, the past year of the Central European Customs Union, most commonly known as Mitteleuropa, has returned back to action. Once again, summits of the foreign affairs ministers of organizations being held, each one with the intention of coordinating the economies of the alliance and facilitating easier flow of goods. Over time, Mitteleuropa expanded to several official and unofficial fields of activity. Their interest in the member states may take it to aid in one field of country. Of course, certain intellectuals and politicians envision a bit more and dream of the chance to reform the organization and create something new. A German economic hegemony? Fulfillment of pan-European dreams? Time will tell. Look at that. Interesting. Let's do some arms experts. No, shoot. Another day, another sensational rumor around the royal family's dark secrets is making the round. This time, Crown Prince Wilhelm and one of his many alleged love affairs stand in the center of attention again. Censorship on articles that openly defame the Hohenzollerns and threaten their reputation is very resolute. Most mainstream newspapers try to refrain from publishing such controversial articles in the first place, out of respect. With quick emergence of less professional tabloid presses in the recent years, however, some unpleasant information always managed to slip through the public. Considering the Crown Prince's relatively low popularity, however, barely anyone can really be expected to be shocked about the new headlines. Though, save for the hardline support of the monarchy and the right, we'll have to accept that this will be the future Kaiser. Terrible. Revolting. It was said long ago that Prussia is an army with a state, and although Germany has advanced beyond this brutish image somewhat, it is no surprise that the Imperial German Army is one of the most influential and valued arms of the Empire. The Veiled Krieg is given an aura of invincibility, and though it may be true, the army is nonetheless mired by issues that may prove to be its Achilles' heel. A vicious inter-service rivalry, lacking central coordination, and calcified aristocratic officer corps are just some of the many problems that worry the OHL and the Prussian Ministry of War. Factions or cliques have formed within the army, each with a different section. The Reformisten are the followers of the idea of the late Hans von Siecht, and are represented by the current Chief of Staff, Kurt von Hammerstein-Eckward. They envision a centralized, modernized professional army open to all social strata and employing combined arms, mechanized warfare. The other side of the offensive, the Allgardisten, the old established, and who prefer mere streamlining of existing army structures. Finally, off to the side, Die Fronde, championed by generals such as Joachim von Stolpnagel, wish for nationalistic ideologue military, fit for a total war that will require the mobilization of the nation from top to bottom. The entrenchment of the army in politics means that each of the three factions has powerful allies in the Reichstag and a preferred government of choice. Now the dust has settled somewhat. The winners of political battles of 36 are free to support their allies in the army and shape the military according to the vision. We are ready. So, we're going to support the reformists, it would seem. Decision you have strength to strengthen your grip of the faction of choice by swaying, promoting commanders friendly to your cause. Stronger grip and more national folk, I will become available. Intro, Jesus fuck. What is all? Okay, that's just spy shit. Okay. What do we got? A labor crisis. Federal income. Chance of crisis, inflation. That does nothing. Let's get some extra cards. Okay, capital control. There we go. And then let's negotiate with lenders in Japan. Relations with Japan remain tense, even more so now that Black Monday has weakened our grip our once unseemingly challengeable grip on East Asia. Regardless of this, Zaibatsu still invested several ventures and holdings outside of Manchuria in the ensuing years of Valkyrie. These include industries owned by the AOG, as well as resources in Indochina and Malaya. For the time being, Tokyo still needs to trade with us, something both sides are painfully aware of. As such, we will send our diplomats abroad with the enviable task of negotiating with Japanese investors for the sake of our own economic preservation. And, of course, we have the future of the army, but I'm not worried about that too much. Wait, no. No. Stop, no. Okay. Mustafa Kemal seizes power. Jesus Christ, they're not gonna let us go fucking anywhere, will they? Well, actually. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what the shit. Well, let's head down over here, then. Let's do... Foundations of Welfare States get some extra time for our other thing. While socialism is still a distant vision in our eyes, our first priority should be improvement to the welfare of the common citizens. Let's undertake an ambitious program of economic and political reform to transform Germany into a state by everyone, for everyone. Do whatever we can to crush those guys. Motherfuckers. Are we already gonna lose Civil War? You guys get on that. I don't know what. These guys are walking out of the way. Should be easier for us to... Alright, disaster has the otherwise quiet little nation of Costa Rica when the ZKG crashed on the Berlin Stock Exchange just a few weeks earlier, dragging the nation into a hole out of which it will be unable to recover on its own. Save them from complete collapse, small nations requested us alone to bail out them. And we'll offer them assistance, why not? One attack there, the other attack there. See if we can't get some circlement. A new article was submitted to the Militar Volkenblatt in the magazine Vahir, which has served as a primary publication of the military since 1816. It's made the rounds among the leadership. It was penned by Max Bauer, an infamous officer of the General Staff during the Weltkrieg, who later rose to the rank of general before his retirement. More famous, he was his protege Erich Ludendorff and considered his right-hand man. Much of the so-called Ludendorff dictatorship during the Weltkrieg was his initiative. A near total mobilization of a nation during the last years of Weltkrieg was envisioned by him. As a result, he has become a sort of symbol and respected spiritual predecessor to the officers and generals who desire for the here transition towards total war. Bauer's article, drawing from his Weltkrieg experience, reflects this. He's highly critical of the government's lack of interest in military matters and predicts that the next great war in Europe will be even more than the total than the last. Such a war can only be won by complete dedication of the state's entire resource base to war, without hesitation or qualms. There's no illusion that this implies a totalitarian military dictatorship. Let him fearmonger and bluster. We will never lose a war. And there we go. That gives us some extra time. And... we could get some extra coalition partners. Let's do some massive public works. Tarnow and Bond envision the expenditure of upwards of 2 billion marks on public works programs alone. Until the economy recovers and employ them again, millions of unemployed must receive temporary relief in the form of public works. I mean, it makes enough sense. Let's do some stuff there. And then, can we hold a summit for peace? Let's hold a summit for peace. Reduce the world tension a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Let's reduce the intensity over here. Oh. That does not seem good. In the news publication of Chemische Zeitung über die Wichtung Geibte der Chemie und chemischen Industry, readers could find an article submitted by Hans Krebs, MD, entitled The Role of Citric Acid in Intermediate Metabolism in Animal Tissues. In it, Krebs presented his newest discovery of a cycle of reactions involving the molecule citric acid that has proven to be essential in the function of all living organisms. This process involves a series of cyclical chemical conversions that is vital to elements of cellular respiration, allowing all organisms to function. The author of the paper, Dr. Hans Krebs, is a researcher at the University of Freiburg, known for discovering the ornithine cycle in 1932, using previous work by Albert Immer, since Georgi D. Nager-Apport, who discovered several productions and reactions of a cycle. Krebs has presented his discoveries in a succinct fashion. This recent discovery has been seen as extremely innovative, and Krebs is already receiving further honors and renown in the scientific world. This achievement has also bolstered the reputation in German scientific circles, and most importantly, the Kaiserreich Society, a cycle of life. After that butchering of various pronunciations, I'm just going to go and leave things there. I'll be honest. Thanks so much for watching, though, gang. Like this video if you liked, dislike if you didn't, leave any comments or feedback down in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get, and I appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. Let's do a pro-Polish monarchist campaign, actually. Yeah. I think you all know the deal by now. Check out my links down in the description box below. Check out all that fun stuff. I appreciate you all for watching as always, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye now.